Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy and this is Yoga with Jeremy. Today's practice is a strong, challenging sequence that will really work your glute muscles. These are the muscles in your butt, and these muscles help us so much, not just in yoga, but also in other sports as well as in day-to-day life to find stability. So, before we get started with the practice, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. And let's start today's practice from a standing position at the top of your mat. With the hands to heart center, getting ready for a few simple half salutations just to warm up the body. Good, and on the inhale, let's lift the arms up overhead, gazing up between the thumbs, and on the exhale, forward fold as you hinge at the hips, the hands down onto the mat. And don't worry if the hamstrings are feeling tight, the knees can be bent. We focus on keeping the belly close to the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Next inhale, rising up all the way, the palms to touch above the head. Then on the exhale, draw the hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up, palms to touch. Then exhale to forward fold. Next inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Inhale to rise up all the way, palms to touch above the head, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up, palms to touch. Exhale to forward fold. Then on the inhale, halfway lift. This time exhale the hands down, step back to plank. From plank pose, let's find one straight line from the crown of the head down to the heels. Keep the tailbone tucked under, engaging the core. And then taking the option of knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga for your vinyasa, or any other option that works best for you. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, let's push back for downward facing dog. And this here, your first down dog of the day, go ahead and paddle it out. Bending one knee then the other. Swaying the hips from side to side. Dropping one shoulder then the other. Doing anything that feels good for you. And whenever you're ready, coming to stillness in downward facing dog. With the hips up high, the heels reaching for the mat, the chest is pressing towards the thighs. Good. And let's begin already the practice. So, left foot forward between the hands, finding high lunge. Keep the back knee off the mat, lift the arms strongly up towards the ceiling. In order to be able to work our glutes, we want to find a longer stance here. So if it feels okay for you, let's slide the legs a little bit further apart, so that the left leg is slightly further forward on the mat and the right leg slightly further back. Keep straightening that back knee. Keep pulling up on the right kneecaps here. Left knee is centered over the ankle. Good. And let's lean forward 45 degrees into a charging warrior. Keep the biceps close to the ears. So imagine trying to lift the arms a little bit higher. As you do this, we find that most of the weight is being taken by the left leg in the left glutes. Stay here to breathe. 5. Maybe the body comes down a little lower. 4. Good. Keep pressing through the right toes. 3. Nice and strong. 2. Good. And 1. Let's come back to center with the arms up overhead for high lunge. And then pivot the back heel down, opening up to warrior 2. Warrior 2 now. Let's engage the left glute so that the knee does not collapse inwards. Still in that nice, beautiful long stance. The arms relaxed but lengthened out over the length of the mat. Gazes over the front palm. Nice. And let's take a half skandasana. So, straighten the front knee. Turn the back foot 45 degrees out. And let's half squat into the back foot. Flex the left toes so that the foot is pointing up towards the ceiling. Bring the hands to heart center. Good. Sit a little bit lower into that right leg. With the right leg now taking so much of the weight of the body. A little bit lower. Tops of the thighs parallel to the mat. Can we stay for 6? Good. 5, left leg nice and straight. 4, 3, 2, good. And 1. Let's come back to warrior 2. And from warrior 2, windmill the hands down, step back to plank. And from plank pose, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, or any other variation. And let's take inhale for cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Right foot forward between the hands, high lunge. Keep the back knee off the mat, lifting the arms up towards the ceiling. Same thing here. In order to find that work in the right glutes, we want to find a slightly longer stance. And continue to straighten up into that left leg means pulling up on the left kneecaps. Pressing into the left toes so that the heel is pointing up towards the ceiling. And let's lean forward 45 degrees. Can we find one straight line from the back heel all the way up to the fingertips at the front? Keep the biceps close to the ears, the body a little bit lower maybe. Stay for 5. 4. Focus on the breathing. 3. Strongly engaging the right glutes. 2. Good. And 1. Let's come back to center for high lunge. The arms up towards the ceiling. And then we open up for warrior 2. Pivot the back heel down. Warrior 2, that long relaxed stance. Make sure that we're neither leaning forward nor back. And from this warrior 2, half skandasana, bring the hands to heart center as we straighten the front knee, turn the back foot out 45 degrees, half squatting into the back foot. Stay here and breathe. 6, 5, make sure the top of the left thigh is parallel to the mat. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come back to a warrior 2. And from warrior 2, windmill the hands down and step back, taking 1 vinyasa to come to downward facing dog. Good. Left foot forward between the hands, high lunge. Keep the back knee off the mat, lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Find that nice long stance. And then, once you're ready, let's lean forward 45 degrees. Find charging warrior. Stay here to breathe for 5. 4, body a little bit lower. 3, bend that front knee a little more. 2, and 1. Right foot steps forward, coming to a chair pose. Good. Here in chair pose, make sure the tops of the thighs are parallel to the mat. Chest is pressing further forward. Good. And this is how we make sure that we work the glutes for 6. 5, the breath deepening here. 4, 3, nice and strong. 2, bring the hands to heart center. And 1, let's twist over to the left, hooking right elbow outside the left knee. Suck the belly in. Lift the center of the heart up to touch the thumbs for 5. 4, 3, sit a little lower. 2, and 1, untwisting to come back to chair pose. Right heel to the butt, and we stay and breathe. 5, good. Balancing on just one leg. 4, 3, start to extend the right leg back. 2, good. Right foot touches down. 1, come back to high lunge, and then set the hands down and step back, taking 1 vinyasa to come to downward facing dog. Right foot forward between the hands for high lunge. Find that nice long stance. Make sure that the front knee is bent so that it's stacked over the ankle. And let's lean forward 45 degrees. Find that beautiful charging warrior. Stay and breathe. 5. Good. 4. 3. 2. Nice. Left foot steps forward. 1. Let's find a chair pose. Make sure the tops of the thighs are parallel to the mat for 6. Good. 5. Chest is pressing further forwards. 4. You should be able to see your toes. 3. 2. Hands to heart center. And 1. Twisting over to the right. Hook the left elbow outside the right knee, coming into a twisted chair. Sit a little bit lower. The lower we sit, the easier the twist becomes for 5. 4. 3. 2. As we untwist, coming back to that chair. Left heel, squeeze it into the butt. We hold here. Last 5. Stay strong. 4. We're working the right glute so much now. 3. 2, and then the left leg extending all the way back, touch down, 1. Place the hands down at the front of the mat. Let's step back, take 1 vinyasa to come to downward facing dog. Look between the hands. Bending the knees, lightly hop, step or jump forward, halfway lift. Then as you exhale, forward fold. Take a moment in this forward fold. Let's separate the feet hip width apart, holding on to opposite elbows. Dangling here in a simple ragdoll. Catching our breath. Then gradually release the hands down onto the mat. And let's roll up vertebra by vertebra, coming all the way up so that the last thing that rises up is the head. Good. Once you're up into standing, take a big step back with your left leg, open out so that you're facing the left side of the mat. And let's sit into a goddess pose so that the tops of the thighs are parallel to the mat and the legs are opened out as wide as you can. Make sure we're at 90 degrees in every angle here. So the thigh is 90 degrees with the calf, the body is 90 degrees with the thighs. Hands holding onto the thighs at first for a little bit of support. We sit deeper so that we can stretch the inner thighs as well. And when you're ready, let's bring the hands to heart center, stay and breathe. 8, slow counts. 7, 6, 5, 4, breathing. 3, stay focused. 2, we're not releasing. 1, and let's pulse 20 times here. Slow pulses. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, still not releasing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, tiptoe up for 1, and let's do another 20 pulses here. 20, 19, 18, nice and strong. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The heels down, straighten the knees, coming up to standing. Wonderful practice. Good. Turn to face the front of the mat and let's step forward. Hands to heart center. On the inhale, take the arms up overhead. As you exhale, forward fold. Next inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale the hands down. Step back to plank. And then take 1 vinyasa of your choice to come to downward facing dog. Let's find a pigeon pose. Send the left shin forward so that the knee is behind the left wrist and the foot is somewhere behind the right wrist. But let's not go all the way down into pigeon. So instead of lowering the left butt all the way down, let's try to leave an air gap between the left butt cheek and the mat. That gap should be about the height of the lowest level of a block. Good. So we stay here with the hands on the mat first, finding stability. Make sure that we are centered. We're not collapsing to the left or the right. The legs are in pigeon, except that we're not sitting all the way down into the mat. Good. And let's start to find the engagement in the glutes here. Bring the hands to heart center as the body comes up upright. Stay here to find the engagement. The legs need to squeeze inwards for 5, 4, 3, 2, good. Interlace the fingers behind the head. 1. Open up the elbows nice and wide. We stay here for 3, 2, and for the last variation, 1. Let's lift the arms up overhead. Bring the hands to touch. Stay and breathe. 7. Slower counts. 6, 5. Engage the glutes. 4. Left hip pulled back, right hip pulled forward. 3, 2, wonderful, and 1. Place the hands down onto the mat and step straight back to down dog, getting ready to switch sides. And from down dog, right shin forward for pigeon pose. Right knee is behind the right wrist, and the right foot is somewhere behind the left wrist. Doesn't have to be parallel. Lower the hips down, but not all the way, keeping the air gap between the right butt cheek and the mat. And once we're set up, making sure that we're stable, bringing the hands to heart center. Stay and breathe. Body is upright for 5, 4, 3, 2, interlace the fingers behind the head, 1, stay for 3, 2, good, last variation, lift the arms up overhead, 1, good, stay, hands together, gazing up, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The hands down onto the mat. Step straight back as you push back to downward facing dog. Wonderful practice. And from downward facing dog now, look between the hands. Stepping left foot, right foot forward, halfway lift. Then as you exhale, forward fold. Good. As we bend the knees now, go ahead, sit down onto the mat. Getting ready for reverse tabletop. Hands down on the mat behind you with the fingertips pointing forward. Good. Floating the left foot off the mat. So we're going to come up into that reverse tabletop using only one glute. Press firmly into the right foot. Let's lift the hips as high as we can, coming up into that reverse tabletop. And then we lower down so that we are almost touching the mat. The left foot never touches down. Good. Inhale up, lower down. With control, 12 times. Inhale 3, and down. 4, and down. 5, and down. 6, and down. 7, with control, and down. 8, slowly, and down. 9, and down. 10, and down. 11, and down. 12, and down. Switching sides. So the left foot is grounded now. Float the right foot off. And up, and down. 2, and down. 3, and down. 4, and down. 5, and down. 6, and down. 7, and down. 8, and down. Last few. 9, and down. 10, and down. Controlled. 11, and down as high as you can. 12, and down. Lower all the way down. Wonderful. Extending the legs in front of you. Let's start to stretch out into the glutes. Crossing left leg over right leg, let's twist over to the left. Hooking on to the left knee with the right elbow. And then switching sides, right leg over left leg, twisting over to the right. And then back to center. Good, straighten the legs in front of you. And we finish today's practice just here in Dandasana. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the practice today. I'll see you around soon. Bye.